Mekhi Becton, a.k.a. the Big Ticket, a.k.a. Highway 77. His fifth-year option is coming up. Could he still be a part of the Jets' long-term solution? Jets! Welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, we're talking a little Mekhi Becton action right now, and we're trying to discuss a little bit of our offensive line woes and the fifth-year option that is coming up for Mekhi Becton. Now, let's give a full overview of our offensive line prior to going into the fifth-year option aspect of this whole thing. So, tackle-wise, we were in rough shape this past year. Mekhi Becton goes down with an injury. George Fant was out for a little bit. Dwayne Brown was out for a little bit. AVT gets knocked out for the year. Max Mitchell gets put on IR with blood clots. Just a whole mess of tackle situation. I feel like we were down to tackle 5 or 6 at one point. So Mekhi Becton, the former number 11 overall pick in the 2020 draft, could he be a solution? We haven't seen him since his rookie year. Last year, 2021, winds up going down in the first half or beginning of the second half of the Carolina game, lost him the entire season. And then in training camp this past year, he winds up breaking his kneecap and misses the entire year. So from a guy that was just so astronomically awesome when he was on the field his rookie year, the Jets are still left there holding, everything in their hand, just trying to figure out, what do we do? Did we just waste a pick on such a massive player here? Mekhi Becton, 6'7", 375 pounds, just a massive human being. They don't grow like that normally. Those left and right tackles, they don't grow on trees. They are the tree. Those guys are absolutely massive. But could Mekhi Becton be a part of the long-term future of this team? That's what we're going to try and figure out here. Now, as far as fifth-year option goes, those fifth-year options are part of rookie contracts. Rookie contracts in the first round are 5-year deals. They're 4-year contracts with a team option for a fifth year. That is the average of certain salaries that I'll get into in just a second. And you get to hold on to that player for an extra year of contractual obligation, but they get a nice little hefty pay bump, and it is guaranteed for injury and skill and everything, and all the guaranteed money that maybe was not guaranteed in that fourth year becomes guaranteed as soon as you exercise it. But that exercise option has to happen before May of the player's end of third year going into fourth year. So this is the time we have to decide on Mekhi Becton's health and long-term viability maybe at the position. It's not uncommon for teams to maybe not exercise the fifth-year option if a team is or if a player is underperformed or maybe has not been available to that point. But let's take a look and see what Mekhi Becton's fifth-year option could look like. There are 5 different options four different options. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Different options as far as the franchise tag goes, or as far as the fifth-year option is concerned. There is the basic one, which is the one that Mekhi Becton would wind up falling into because he doesn't fall into these 3 other categories. It's going to be the average between the 3rd and 25th salary at his position. Now, offensive line is not broken up into tackle, guard, center. By my understanding, according to Over the Cap, it's broken into offensive line as the total 5, which actually works out better in your favor for a tackle tag because of the well, I guess it doesn't work out because all 5 offensive linemen and the 5 highest paid offensive linemen, you're probably not counting centers and things like that. But I don't know. It's interesting, right? So he didn't hit the other option. So the basic playing tag, players who do not hit the playing time, Pro Bowl, or multiple Pro Bowl thresholds will be eligible for a fifth-year option based on the 3rd through 25th highest salaries at their position over the past 5 seasons. So you're talking about the previous 5 years. That will be what his fifth-year option is going to be. But I don't know if that factors in next year as one of the previous 5 years because his fifth year would happen after next year. That I'm a little fuzzy on. Playing time-wise, these players will be eligible for fifth-year base salary calculated on the average of 3rd to 20th highest paid salaries at their position over the last 5 seasons, provided their snap counts over their first 3 seasons meet one of the following 3 criteria: 75% greater playing time in 2 of their first 3 seasons, an average of 75% or greater over all 3 seasons, or 50% or greater over all 3 seasons. And obviously, Mekhi Becton being out 2 of the first 3 years, basically, he's not going to hit the playing time threshold. 1 Pro Bowl, Mekhi Becton did not hit that. Multiple Pro Bowls, unfortunately for right now, going to have to wait and see where that all shakes out. Now, you may be wondering where some of the other players in his draft class wind up going based on where players were picked and whatnot. And look, just 2 picks behind the New York Jets, Tristan Wirfs. The guy got multiple Pro Bowls. That was the player that all of us on draft day were kind of hoping for. C'est la vie. You know what? I'm still excited for Mekhi Becton, even though Wirfs didn't work out. Maybe Becton does. We'll hope here. It looks like the only players that really got those multiple Pro Bowls are Justin Jefferson and Tristan Wirfs. As far as the one-time Pro Bowlers, you're looking at Chase Young and Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and it looks like CeeDee Lamb would be the only ones there. Everyone else falls into the playing time and the basics. So the Jets really aren't like that ridiculously like skewed when you factor in all these other picks in the first round and who's possibly being exercised and who's not being exercised based on how they've performed so far. Now, obviously, the Jets having the injuries with Becton, injuries are a massive, massive concern, but it's almost like, I don't want to call it a silver lining, but at least with injuries, you can kind of hope, well, you know, maybe this guy returns to his former playing form where, you know, other guys who maybe not have their 5th-year options exercised, it could be based on performance. Now, in part, Becton's performance is based on performance because he hasn't been available, but you kind of get what I'm saying here. It could be a little bit higher than it otherwise, I don't know, might have been. So as far as his 5th-year option, it's going to be a 1-year, $20.2 million deal in 2024. And for me, that's a big old no-go. Mekhi Becton does not stay healthy enough for me to guarantee $20.2 million to. That's just absolutely crazy, off the table for this kind of discussion. Now, the nice thing about this is you put Mekhi Becton into a situation where he now has his back against the wall. For the previous 3 seasons, he signed a rookie contract. He didn't really have to worry. You're not cutting your number 11 overall pick at one of the most important positions in all of football while you draft a rookie quarterback just a year after him. He's kind of had some flexibility and financial/roster security. Now going into this final year, he's on the hot seat. We don't know what we got out of him the last 2 years, or we know what we got out of him the last 2 years. We didn't get anything out of him. Is he going to be able to perform? I like not exercising his option and forcing him to play better. It's almost like what the Giants did with Daniel Jones this past year. They did not exercise his 5th-year option before the season. Daniel Jones goes out and balls out. Now, it could be a really big problem because you could have a situation like the Giants are in right now where they have Saquon Barkley, who they're trying to figure out and bring back, and they're trying to figure out Daniel Jones, but they only have one franchise tag and they don't know how to use it. That is a problem I would love to have with Mekhi Becton. I have no problem paying him a top-end contract for performances that he put on field that were worthy of that contract. At this point in time, I like overpaying for players that perform as opposed to paying too far out for players that we hope perform. So I guess let me know what you guys are kind of thinking on this. Do you think Mekhi Becton could be a part of the long-term future of this team? Do you think he's not? I mean, for me, I think if the Jets wind up getting Aaron Rodgers, Mekhi Becton will be a part of the team for this next season, and then, you know, maybe you use a transition tag or something a year after that. But I would think you go all in with the roster right now, and you just kind of allow Becton to prove his worth. I don't know. You guys can let me know how you feel about Mekhi Becton. Do you want to exercise his 5th-year option? Do you think it's crazy to do that? Who do you want the Jets to either replace or pair with Mekhi Becton this offseason? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets.